Welcome to another Dynatrace tips and tricks session. Today I have Dorian with me, who built an open source plugin for IntelliJ to make it easier for you to work with DQL, to craft it, to format it correctly, and also to execute it. Dorian, thank you so much for being here today and for building this great plugin.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Dorian, maybe we jump right into it. I want to know, why did you build this plugin? How do you use it on a day-to-day basis so that we can show other developers, because you're a software engineer, other developers on how this will benefit their day-to-day work?
Okay, so basically we built this plugin because we are writing a lot of DQL queries and storing them inside Git repository. We are using Monaco to configure our Dynatrace tenants, so stuff like dashboard and workflows. And over the time, we had like 500 of DQL files in our repository. Maintaining a common code style inside them and also validating them inside the repository was pretty hard for us to maintain. We just needed to copy the file to the notebooks and go back to the IDE to copy and paste them. And because of that, we wanted to have a nicer way of interacting with DQL queries. So we have wrote a plugin that is not only applying the automatic code completion for us. As you can see here, we can just write a comment, and IntelliJ will automatically help us writing the DQL. So inside, we can write a new record and create some example column.
Cool.
Yeah. The other major feature for us was that we can also execute it directly on the Dynatrace tenant. So we can right-click the file and execute the DQL query. And as you can see here now, the IntelliJ will show the results as a table, and you can also click on the columns to see more details if the data here is very complex.
So that means any type of DQL, whether in your case it's time series, whether it's logs, whether it's spans, you get automated code completion, you get automated syntax highlighting, you get everything that you would expect from a development programming language for DQL, and you can also execute it and get the results from one or different tenants. Yeah,
Yes,
that's awesome.
exactly.
That's really cool. And I think one of the key things that you also highlighted is you're here working in a Git repository. That means many developers are contributing DQL code to a repository. And obviously, thanks to IntelliJ, you can now enforce all of the formatting, the guidance, the checks across the repository. So that means this is a super great performance improvement, or like an efficiency improvement for engineers.
Exactly. You can just reformat the whole directory, and IntelliJ will automatically apply a new formatting style for all DQLs inside this directory.
Cool.
So it's much easier to maintain them.
Yeah. So the way I envision this, other people may use this, right? On the one side, like you said, you're using Monaco, or whether you're using Terraform or any other infrastructure as code tools to configure Dynatrace. This is a great and easy way to make sure the DQLs that you're using in those config as code or monitoring as code, they all work, they are formatted correctly, syntactically correct, and they also are aligning to your best practices. And then the other thing is, when you're building an app, when you're building, I guess this will also work for any type of usage where DQL is used in code, whether you're building an app, or I think in your case, yeah, exactly, any type of code, right? That will also work.
Exactly. The plugin also brings the support of injecting the DQL language inside other languages. So here we have a Java example where, as you can see, we are writing DQL query, and all the features supported by the IntelliJ will be also displayed here.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I can think of, if you're building any type of automation in any type of language, that would work then. Or if you're building a Dynatrace app and you're building this in IntelliJ, then this would also be great. Now, let me ask you a question. How would I, as an IntelliJ user now, get this plugin? How do I install it? How do I configure it?
Okay, so the plugin is open for everybody and is free because we created it as a community open source project. So everybody can contribute to the plugin and everybody can just use it. To install it, you go to the settings, then go to the plugins section, And inside the marketplace, you need to search for the Dynatrace. As you can see here, the Dynatrace Query Language plugin is here, and all you need to do is just to install it.
Cool. And also the plugin homepage that will get probably to the GitHub repository. So folks, also in the description of the video, I will add a link to the Git repository and any additional material you may need. But obviously with IntelliJ, this is all very easy. It's just a marketplace that is built into IntelliJ. That's cool.
Yeah, plugin also brings a lot of additional settings to the IntelliJ. So let's go quickly through them. First of all, the plugin allows you to configure the way of displaying the DQL queries by changing the colors for all types of tokens inside the DQL. So you can change the how the functions are displayed, how strings are displayed, how columns are displayed, etc. Other very cool settings is the code style options, where you can set up how your DQL query should look like. And so, for example, you can remove spaces after pipes. You can indent your DQL query commands, so it's much easier to see the flow of the DQL query. You can also enforce breaking the line after before the parameters in the DQL query, as you can see here. And yeah, it's thanks to those options, you can enforce the same code style through the whole repository for all the files. And we have wrote a lot of inspections that are working fully locally. So you do not even need to connect to Dynatrace tenant in order for the plugin to work and to show you any kind of an error. One of the cool features for the plugin is that it doesn't only show you the error, it also proposes you a lot of quick fixes that you can apply to automatically resolve the error. So you can just right-click your error, and then IntelliJ will show you options, what you can do with it. And apart from the plugin working fully locally, you can also connect to the Dynatrace tenant to automatically verify whether your DQL query works and doesn't have any kind of errors. So the validation will be exactly the same as on the notebooks, as we are using the same REST API endpoint. And so you will see all errors supported on the Dynatrace inside your IntelliJ. And setting up your tenants, which you can connect to multiple of them and switch around them very quickly, will allow you to also execute your DQL query on a specific Dynatrace tenant.
That's cool. Hey, if I want to quickly kind of summarize and wrap this up, that means this is for software engineers or any type of engineers that need to write DQLs, either for infrastructure as code, for building any type of custom applications, whether it's a Dynatrace application or maybe like you showed, you had some Java apps or some Java code that ran in. You have automated syntax checks, you have code completion, you have your validations. Everything works completely offline, meaning you don't need to be connected to a Dynatrace tenant, but if you are, you can also execute them. And because of the power of IntelliJ, you can then also apply all of your new rules in terms of indentation, formatting across your complete repositories to make sure you're consistent, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, last thing, because I see it here in the table, in that result. I think you said it earlier, you can click on all of the columns or the cells and you get the details, but I think you also have the option to get some information about the query itself behind the scenes when you execute the query. Yeah, the metadata.
Yes, you can show the query metadata, which shows you more details that are not shown directly in the results. And you can also save the table as a JSON file.
That's perfect.
There is one additional feature in the plugin, which I haven't mentioned, is that you can hover over any kind of command and any kind of function, and it will automatically show you the documentation behind it.
That's cool. Hey, thank you so much on behalf of the whole Dynatrace community. This is great because it really helps with becoming more efficient as an engineer that needs to work with DQL. Thank you so much. Thanks for making this open source. And for everybody out there, check it out, give feedback, maybe even contribute, right? That would be great. Have a star, a like, a fork. Yeah.
I will be happy to see you here.
Cool. And I'm happy to see you back because I'm sure there's more stuff that you and your teams are doing that will benefit the larger Dynatrace community. Thank you so much and see you next time.